Hey there, everybody. My name is Drew Rosa. I'm here to talk a little bit about inquiry-based learning for science. In our field of teaching, one thing that it holds true with most kids is that they love to learn. It's an innate ability inside of them. The hardest thing is being able to capture that learning. And that's what I'm here to talk about a little bit today. So, kids by nature are curious. They want to know more about their surroundings. They want to investigate their surroundings. They're really interested in learning about their environment. And that's what we want to tap into is that ability to learn and the innate mindset that they have. Inquiry-based learning is something that is really a push forward in our move towards science. When we look at inquiry-based learning, we are challenging the kids to search and find answers. We're asking them to create the questions, and we're really guiding them through this whole process. So, according to Teach Thought, they state that you want to find meaningful and relevant ways to interact with suggested topics. Once you do that, we want to clarify that a little bit and summarize the data using our expertise as teachers. Once we push through that a little bit more, we want to guide students through their questions and their self-directed inquiry, really making sure that they understand the question process and how to get the best out of what they're looking for and how to get the best what we want to guide them to do. And then, of course, last, we want to help design an accessible and relevant project that builds on this idea of inquiry. So we want to take their question, look at it, and design a model that really guides that process further. Kids are more drawn in when they are doing research based off of their thoughts. Lots of studies have shown that. So it's really in our best interest to help those kids find ways to do this. So kids in the inner city may not relate to the same things as kids in the countryside or kids in suburbia. And it really is our job as educators to figure out the best way to appeal to each one of our students. For example, say we're doing an inquiry-based learning project on pollution. Big topic right now, right? I mean, we're trying to figure out ways to cut down on pollution all across the board. So looking at pollution from the point of an inner city child, you might be looking at public transportation options, automobiles versus walking. So many of their environments are walking distance. Whereas if you're out in the suburbs, you're not going to have that ability to walk. You're going to have to drive a lot more. You're going to have to figure out ways to get from point A to point B. So they might want to look at commute times and ways to reduce drive time and idle times as well. And then when you're looking at kids out in the countryside, I mean, there really isn't much you can do as far as cutting down commutes or cutting down drive times. But some things that do speak to those children, a lot of them work on farms or work around farms, talking about the amount of pollution that actually goes into our groundwater through chemicals being used as pesticides and the impact that they have on the larger picture. So when we're talking and discussing these issues, it's really important to know our audience, just like with anybody else as adults. But especially with kids, we want to be able to drive that inquiry. Some ways that we can further draw in students is through use of technology. Technology has boomed since in my lifetime. I've seen it grow from minuscule systems where home computers didn't have any sort of access and we were coding in BASIC to where we are now, where there's just loads of information everywhere. In fact, we're in the age of an information overload. So with all of this information, it is so important for us to find sources for our students and to narrow them down in order for them to get the most out of this technology. One place to look is YouTube. I mean, the amount of information on YouTube is incredible. It's just really making sure that we go through that editing process first, make sure that we view the videos, make sure that we understand exactly what these videos have. There are so many good attention drawers, though, for especially in the world of science. For example, I was able to use one on groundwater for third graders, and 2 years later they were still singing the groundwater song. Pretty awesome. Of course, ebooks, wow, just the amount of information that you can gather from ebooks and the differentiation that ebooks can provide, especially for students that have a language barrier or students who aren't able to read as well. They have options where they can be read to, or if there's a word that they don't understand, there's a click-through option for them, and it also helps them out with pronunciation. Some of these words, especially when we look at science, can be awfully hard to pronunciate, and with the assisted guidance of technology, it can really help them. It can also enhance their learning abilities through animations and through pictures and videos. So I love the ebook option. And then another great tool is websites. They can be great models, especially when we're looking at seismic activity or when we're looking at weather patterns. Just a great tool that is quick access and allows students to interact with them. Inquiry-based learning is such an important process, and for us as educators, it is our job to really guide our students through this process. I hope that this has been informational, and I hope that this video has been helpful. I look forward to talking to you in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day. This is Mr. Rosa signing out.